All right, everyone. We have running back Kaelon Black. We will start with Pete and then go to Mike.
Yeah, hey, Kaelon, I'm working on a story on the physicality that you guys display, the hard running that you display. How much of an emphasis has that been, and how much pride do you take in breaking an opponent's will?
Yeah, definitely. We take a lot of pride in breaking the opponent's will. That's something that we preach and practice. As running backs, just get our get our feet planted in the ground and get vertical. We can't spend too much time dancing around and going east and west. The fastest point from a straight line is going straight. So we trying to get to the end zone, trying to score touchdowns.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Mike, and then we'll go to Dan.
Yeah, Kaelon, you've played, series of teams, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, similar kind of talent-laden rosters, 5-star, 4-star guys. What's something that stood out about Oregon over Ohio State and Alabama?
Definitely their trenches. All great teams by the way, but the trenches. Oregon's D line is they have a great D line, great linebacking core, and those guys just seem to play like really fast, especially in the back end as well. So we definitely have our hands full this week, and they seem to have gotten better since the last time that we played them, and those improvements definitely show on tape.
Kaelon, just what you could say to, the fact of what Kurt Signetti has done with this entire program, how his leadership gets through to each and every single one of you, and how his style has proven to get you to where you are today.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Sig's leadership is just one of those things that's just easy to get behind. You know, he's about his business, and he's going to be serious about everything that he does, football related and even in life. He wants to see his guys improve and to make those strides to become better players and better men at the end of the day. And I'm just glad that he came to IU and instilled this philosophy in this program. And I feel like everyone is getting behind him, and we're just going to keep on getting better as we go.
Next, we'll go to Pat Forty, and then we'll go to Daniel Flick.
Kaylon, I'm just wondering about you guys' ball security, which has been excellent this year. Everybody practices it. Why are you guys so effective at it?
This is one of those things that you have to think about every play. You can't get a play started without the ball. So we have our ball security circuits multiple times a week, and that's just one of those things that we prioritize as an offense, and just making sure, like, even when the ball is loose a little bit, hey, you have to chin that thing and make sure you have this whole program in your hands. You have the whole fan base in your hands, and you can't let them down.
All right, we'll go Daniel Flick and then Zach Browning.
Yeah, just habit-wise, how has SIG influenced you, changed you, just kind of improved who you are, just kind of as a man?
Yeah, definitely. Just like his philosophy, as in like being disciplined and like being smart and disciplined. Just making sure like you're staying on track and wanting to be better in everything that you do. Never being complacent in life, always wanting to get better in every single phase, whether that's cooking or vacuuming and cleaning up the house. Like just those certain things that just you have that certain mindset from football that you learn from him, and it just kind of translates to your everyday life.
We'll go Zach Browning and then Dana O'Neill.
Kaelon, Roman just told us that you guys aren't in the business of changing minds. So where do you guys draw your internal motivation from on a weekly basis?
It just comes from just wanting to be better. Just being around a great group of guys, a great group of teammates. Is you just have that want to be better in your life and also on the football field. And I feel like it's just easy to be able to do that now. When you have like great coaches and a great staff around you, and now that we're in this position, we have no choice but to get better, and I feel like that's our mentality.
All right, go ahead, Dana, and then we'll go to Jeff Rabjohns.
Kaelon, a lot's been talked about the calendar and transfers and all that. What is the hardest thing when you move from school to school mid-year? I don't mean football-wise. I mean socially, academically, et cetera. And as a follow-up, I'd like to know how one learns how to vacuum really well, so I could pass that message on to my son, please.
Yes, that's a great question. I would say the hardest thing is just like taking it all in and understanding that it's a process. Having the patience to understand that things happen for a reason, and you're not going to always have the answers to make the best decisions in the moment. But me being myself, I put my faith in God, and I allow Him to shape shift things and allow me to see things in a different way that I haven't seen them before. And can you repeat your other question, please?
I was just messing around about your vacuuming skills.
Oh,
How one
sorry.
becomes a good vacuumer.
Man, I don't even know. I'm just doing it out there.
We'll go Jeff Rabjohns and then to Scott.
Yeah, Roman, you guys are top 15 in the country in rushing yards, even though, Fernando got the Heisman, and I think a lot of people focus on that. But you guys are top 15 in rushing, and you're number one in the country in third down conversion rate, and a number of those have come via the running game. Why do you feel you guys have been so effective in important situations in the run game?
Yeah, those are one of the things that we focus on in practice, man. Those certain situations, those third downs and fourth and shorts and 30 mediums, and we have our great scheme for that. And I give all the credit to the O line and those tight ends and receivers who block their tails off out there, and our coaching staff for putting us in the right position to be able to be successful in those certain situations.
Thanks, man.
We'll go to Scott and then Josh.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about your coach. In some cases, he's been kind of almost a meme with some of his facial expressions, whether that's on the sidelines, the hands on his hips, and stuff like that. Is that anything you guys notice? Is that anything like your family members bring up, or does anybody try to ever mimic Coach Signetti with some of his mannerisms?
Yeah, it is one of those things that I feel like everyone notices, and they definitely bring it to our attention. It's just one of those things that you really can't get away from at this point with everything being on social media. But that's just Coach Sig. He's about his business, and the faces that you see, he's probably thinking like of ways to get better or what's going on out here on this field. Like, why aren't we doing what we're supposed to do? So that's just him.
We'll go to Josh and then Tom Brew.
Kaelon, I think it was last year you said that the running back room was the Ninja Turtles. Do you feel like they're the same? Do you feel like you're the same one? Like, what's the camaraderie in the running back room, especially with Justice as a coach?
Yeah, I could see that we're probably the same. And I feel like our camaraderie is just great in our room, man. We always joke around and laugh together, but we also know when it's time to go, it's time to go, and we're about our business. And that's one of the things that I love about our room. Like, we can flip that switch from being joking around, and then when it's time to go on the field, it's time for us to lock in, and we can all do that at any given point.
All right, we'll go Tom Brew and then Jim Coyle.
Kaelon, we all live in a world now with the transfer portal and all that stuff, but how much, when you look back over these 2 years, how much has it helped that so many of you came together with Coach in that, and how much easier did that make the whole transition coming from James Madison to Indiana and then having all the success you've had?
Yeah, I feel like the transition was pretty good, actually great with us all coming. I feel like we are all blessed to have the opportunity to come with Sig here. And I feel like our culture has definitely changed, and it's also changed for the better in terms of like the smart, disciplined poise and fast, physical, and relentless. Being able to do this on this level has been definitely a blessing so far. And just seeing these things shape, shift, and turn has just been great to see and be a part of.
All right, we'll go to Jim Coyle, and then we'll wrap up with Mike Schumann and then Lou Friedman.
Kaelon, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Roman. You guys have been just unbelievable 1-2 punch this year. And after having already played Oregon, do you think you guys are going to have to make the adjustments, or is the plan to make them make the adjustments against you? And then secondly, is there a friendly competition between yourself and Roman, because you guys are both just right at it back and forth?
Yeah, I would say we always want to make adjustments and be better than we were the last game. That game was definitely a great game. It was definitely close, and I feel like as our team, as our offense, we are going to always want to make adjustments regardless of the situation. And I feel like when it comes to me and Rome, I don't want to call it like a competition. It's just one of those things where we both want to help the offense improve and do anything we can to make sure that we can succeed.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
Kaelon, last year you kind of towards the back half of the season didn't get as many snaps, and this year you've stayed right there the entire season. Like, what has been the key for you to do that? Like, how have you improved, and what went into that?
Yeah, definitely. I was just say thinking on that in the off season. I just wanted to make sure I stayed as healthy as I could, changing my nutrition, changing my diet, and also doing as much as I could in the off season as far as extra training goes, extra footwork drills, extra time on the field, extra time watching film, and then ultimately just a matter of the main thing is really pretty much just staying healthy. And I'm thankful for them and my coaches and that they believe in me and I feel like I'm really blessed to be able to have teammates as well that who believe in me as well. So.
All right, go ahead and wrap us up, Lou.
Kaelon, I asked pretty much the same thing of Roman, but my impression at the beginning of the year is that opponents thought of you as more of a passing team, but as the season has worn on, the running game has gained in prominence and been more of a key factor in pulling out games and making a statement. Do you think that opponents now look at your running game differently and are, I guess, more afraid of it, perhaps, than they might have been in the beginning of the season?
That's a great question. I would say that there's probably some thought in that. I feel like our whole year we've always been more of like a balanced team, with the running backs that we have, with the quarterback that we have, and our passing attack and our running attack. Like I feel like we're more like a balanced team, and also I feel like that pretty much showed in the Alabama game as well. With the way we were able to run the ball, great O-line play, great receiver play. Fernando was out there making plays as well. So I feel like it's just pretty much a total team offense thing.
Great. Thanks, Kaelon. Thanks,
y'all.
everyone.